Hey, what's going on? Mr. Richard, Mr. Adams, this is the Rich Get Richard. And we're talking to Mr. Adams about, do I really want to scale my business to a $20 million business? Or do I just like the, six, seven, high six, maybe low seven without as many headaches, but I have more control, I have more time, less stressors. I mean, that's a question that, every entrepreneur or every person should want to ask themselves, right? Do you want enough just to live off of and live comfortable, have a decent living, decent house, or do you want to go for the whole party? You want to hold the whole show. It comes with more stressors, but is the stressors worth it? So, Mr. Adams, so you felt like the stressors of scaling that big or even moving your operations was not worth it. You just I'm kind of content where I am and just kind of keep it the way I am. I was kind of overseeing these people, and I kind of can see how they're doing their day to day, and just not it's not a lot of moving. It's still a lot of moving parts, but not as much as a 10-20 million dollar operation. So what ultimately made you not want to do that? Because you're
Yeah.
happy, or it's just
Um,
trying to have a work-life balance which don't exist.
yeah, no. So I was still stressed constantly and no work-life balance. So like I could see just, going to scale. Plus also my population is not dense enough to get to his level. But also I didn't need to because there's everyone wants to get to that million or 5 million or 10 million, right? But no one ever talks about the bottom line. Like I learned real quick that I could actually make more money than all my competitors in my area. And there is two companies that are bigger than me, you could say. They do more jobs than me, but I make more profit because I invested in tools and putting things on wheels and a warehouse with a loading dock and lift gates. I learned real quick that I'm not actually a party company. I am a material handling and logistics company. So if I put a lot of money into how we handle materials, because that's all we do, we just move shit around from warehouse to site and then back. So if I put a lot of money into becoming more efficient in material handling and logistics, I make more profit. So I could make 10% profit on $1 million and take home $100,000. Or I can make 30% profit on $600,000 and make, I'm not good at math. Let's just call that $200,000.
More money.
I'm making $400,000 less in the business, but I am personally making more
Yeah.
because I am better at material handling and logistics.
Material handling, logistics, streamlining your process, make your process easier, making it more efficient, and transitioning from one job to the other. And no, so
Yeah, so I didn't need to scale. I just needed to make sure everything got done as efficiently as possible. So then I could either go home earlier or fit more jobs into the same amount of time that my competitor is doing.
yeah, so I kind of can see what you're saying, because I had my brother owned a bounce house, and he said, "Yo, I'm spending too much time setting up and tearing down." And I was like, "Yo, you gotta make it more efficient. You gotta streamline this shit, right?" And he was when he got it balled up, he would like roll it into like the back of his truck and shit. I said, "Yo, bro, the big boys ain't doing it like that, man. They come out there, they have like the thing on like a little roller, have a little cart, and they push a button, they load that shit up, strap it down, and they roll it wherever they need to go, right? I mean,
Yeah, so that cart nowadays, like an electric hand cart, is $4,000.
yeah,
Most people aren't going to buy that. That's a crappy used car. No one's gonna, a lot of people don't want to spend $4,000 on a just a hand cart,
yeah.
but you do it now. You can do two more jobs in the day. Now your guys aren't getting tired. Now they're not on Friday, dead. Um, and you're just making more profit from what you're already doing. Just if you spent that 4 grand.
Okay, and I mean, you're in the wedding business, or you're in the tent business, but you're also a in the wedding business. And like, do you have to be in cahoots or like network a lot with like wedding planners, or do they come
No, they suck. I hate them. We all hate them.
I mean, why is that like a you would think it would be the opposite. You think that y'all be like, okay, hey, how you doing, Miss Wedding Planner or Mr. Wedding Planner? Okay, you want this tent here, you want the tables here, you want this here. Or
No,
you
there's a
just like put it in the
few.
corner and be like, yo, I'm out.
Yeah, there's a few wedding planners who are good because they're actually good at their job. But in any given area that you're in, 90% of the wedding planners are a nightmare. And if like there's a bunch of the Facebook groups for us party rental people, and we all agree wedding planners suck. They're never organized. They come in and say, hey, I'm going to do so much business with you. Can I get 30%, 20, 10% discount? And at first, your first few years, like, oh yeah, you're a wedding planner. Obviously you're going to. And then what they think is a lot of business is nothing. Like I can do one job for one person and make more than I ever made in 10 years with one wedding planner. They got big egos. They're not organized. They just suck at their job and they make it a nightmare for party rental companies.
You
We
know,
all hate them and we don't like to work with them.
I've heard that wedding planners are bad
It's in their name.
at
They
their time.
should be planning and they
Yeah,
can't plan
I
worth
heard
shit.
a lot. I've been just people in the industry or people in entrepreneurship. I heard that wedding planners they're like so disorganized. But you got to think about it like this: most people in their lives are disorganized, right? You're not going to
Right.
find too many people who are organized with their lives, let alone with someone else's lives. They probably just go through the motions. They probably have some connects that they just check off a little list, and
Yep.
hopefully everything works out at the end. You
So
know,
the people that I found that are better to deal with are caterers. So a lot of the big caterers kind of have an in-house planner. It's not really a wedding planner, but they still help plan the whole event. And caterers are very organized because you got to imagine, hey, I need to cook this pasta for 8 minutes at my restaurant and then cook it for 2 minutes on site. They got all this stuff they got to be organized with. So the event person in a big catering thing, they're always the best. And I don't want to take away from wedding planners too much. We've had a few good ones, but all the caterers that we deal with, if they also like deal with the event, have been way better.
yeah. Well, I'm sure it's a headache. People, bridezillas running around and they want everything to be perfect along the wedding planner that don't know what they're doing, and you trying to, or coordinate where these tables want to be set up, and then they're in the wrong spot or dealing with rain, and I'm sure that crap can suck at times. But I mean, sometimes it's probably a lot easier than others. But it sounds profitable. It sounds like if I'm not gonna say if anybody wants to do it, they should look into it. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of homework, a lot of research that you need to do to get into that type of space. But it sounds like it can be lucrative, and it sounds like the cash injection that you need to get into party rental is not. It's initially it's probably gotten worse though with
Yeah, it has.
inflation. I can only imagine. I had a buddy who had a party rental. I ain't talked to him in years though, man. And he had a website, and then he rented. He he built a trailer and a shed next to a campsite right across the street because he felt like it was underserviced.
Mm,
And he just, he had a big sign that says camping rental here, right? So people would go into this campsite and it wasn't out there. It was a lot of campers, but nothing out there, right? He just
right.
built a little tent. I mean, he had a trailer and bought the little land and he put that sign up. And man, he rents out he rents everything: volleyballs, tennis balls, fire starters, tents, kayaks, golf clubs. I mean, whatever. Anything that you can do outside with nature that you don't want to be bored for 24 hours. He rents it all out, even $3, $5. And he said what you can do. And then he said it has like little bundles, right? So he said like kid bundles. So you have like a sack, the sack that you run in, then you have like frisbee, a football, baseball, a wiffle ball, or something like that. And he'd be like, you know, outdoor getaway kit, and 3 days, $60 or some shit like that. And did it. He can't even keep them on the shelves, man. He's just
That's cool. I like that.
yeah, just seeing opportunity, capitalize on it, and then renting that type of stuff out. I don't know if you ever thought about doing something like that too, like a fun wedding party gift. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what the fuck people.
We rented out a camping tent once. One of my customers called us and was like, do you rent out camping tents too? And I was like, 1 second. I called my friend who has a lot of camping tents. I was like, would you rent this? And he's like, yeah. So we rented it out actually to her twice.
Mhm.
We've done glamping. You know what glamping is?
Yeah.
Okay, so to the people who don't know, it's just a nicer tent with a camping tent with a real bed and side tables and a rug in there. And it was one of these rich people, actual rich people who own a mansion up in the mountains, and they don't know how to work Google. So the caterer asked me if I could do glamping for them. I said, no, I can't. But then I called them back 10 minutes later and I was like, yes, I can, but I'm going to charge them cost. I'm going to charge exactly what it cost me to buy everything and I'll do it for them. So I figured it was going to cost $12,000 for me to buy it. They said yes. And then I immediately got on Google and found a guy like an hour away and he did it for me for $6,000. And I got $6,000 for doing nothing.
Okay, so so do you like do all your party rental? Is it near where you live, or do you have to commute to the area where the majority of people are?
No, my warehouse is 12 minutes from my house right now.
Oh man, that's pretty nice. Do you
Yeah.
spend a lot of time there?
Yeah, I like my warehouse. It's fun owning a warehouse.
For those who are on TikTok, you need to go to his page. He did a video where he walked through and showed everything he rents out. The wine barrel thing was pretty cool, man. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that people rented wine barrels like that. But it was more so like decorative. People go there and they sit their little cheese plate or something on and put the little wine glass as they talk and mingle with other people. I was like, holy fuck, that's pretty cool. And you just get a half barrel of wine, whatever the hell it was, and just make it look fancy and then just take it there and rent it out. And that's pretty neat though. I saw that. I watched that video actually like last week. And then I said,
Yeah, people rent wine barrels, like you said, so it can be a regular table, a cocktail table, bar height table, or you can put two pieces or a piece of wood over two of them. Now it's a bar or appetizer thing. Yeah, things that people rent is crazy. Like that's what on TikTok my video blew up because I was just walking around showing the stupid stuff. I started the video by saying, "Here's some stupid stuff I rent out," and it's not stupid, but it's like to me, would I ever rent a wine barrel? No. Would I ever rent a butt depot? No. So like to me, it's like stupid to rent, but I get why. Obviously, I understand why people are renting it. No one's gonna go out and buy 10 wine barrels. They're just gonna rent them the one time for their wedding.
yeah, 10 wine barrels and then never use them again. And you can't really
Yeah.
sell them on Facebook or Insta, eBay. There's just the hell you gonna do with them, right? Except give them away. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, then especially if you had like I don't know how your website set up, but if you had like a little display on how it would look, I guess.
Yeah, the pictures.
Picture themselves in it. See, damn,
But people already know what they want. They're seeing their wedding. They've been planning their weddings for years, like
yeah.
Pinterest and wedding magazines and stuff. So like I don't even need to show picture. I only show one picture of wine barrels. They already know what they want. So
yeah. But you okay, so you in the party rental space, and that opened up a lot of opportunities for you in other ways to make money. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how you take the money you're making and integrate it to other things that make money. Because as an entrepreneur or a person that is trying to create generational wealth or create money for themselves and their family, you take money in and you don't necessarily spend it on yourself. You take that money in and you divvy it out to other different places. So make sure you like it, make sure you follow this video, and I'm gonna be right back with Mr. Adams, and we're gonna talk about how he took that party rental income and converted it to other things that make him more money. Make sure you're following. Go to the next video.